course. It's the only one I've got, so bear with me. If it tends to be more American than British, don't be offended by that. Just start making better movies. No, maybe that's not fair. I mean, you have decent movies. You have that Guy Ritchie doing the same one every other year. It's a good one. Keep making it too, that's what I'm saying. I was just in New York to do comedy for 3 months. They didn't like me much. Apparently they believe in God. And I find that kind of retarded once you reach the age of 9. They didn't like me. They're kind of tense, Americans, about everything. Not only religion, they're tense about sex. I met a guy and he told me, I met a girl the other week and she gave me the most amazing hand job. Like, a hand job? From someone else? I mean, if I'm having sex with somebody, I'm going to want them to do something I'm not pretty good at myself, right? Who's going to give me a better hand job than me? I've been practicing since I was fucking 11, you know? You're going to give me a hand job? No, I don't think so. I think I'd rather watch reruns of CSI Miami than have somebody else give me a hand job. You know, that shit hurts when you get it wrong. And you do, since the dick isn't attached to you. So, audience participation. Here we go. Who is your favorite pedophile? What? You don't have one? I mean, from a pedophile perspective. I'm not Michael Jackson. Well, yeah, that's what I like to call them, the luxury pedophiles. They're not really pedophiles to me. My favorite, compare him to those two. My favorite, Joseph Fritzl. Now that's a pedophile. He struggled for that shit, you know? He dug a basement, he kidnapped, he made his own victims. Now that's a pedophile. Michael Jackson, that's no pedophile. How hard can it be getting laid by a 10-year-old when you have your own giraffe and a roller coaster, you know? Yeah. I know. I'm not very good at audience participation. I'm sorry. Well, the comedians are great at it. You know, what do you do for a living? Are you a couple? I just don't give a shit. I want to know who's your favorite pedophile. Met a guy today and he said, do you know what the problem with this country is? I said, I have no idea. Because I didn't think he would bring things up, like you drive on the wrong side of the road, that your measurement system is fucked up, that your MPs use your money to clean their moats, or the fact that you invaded Iraq on false premises because of, you know, Tony Blair was sucking Bush's cock for 8 years. So I figured he wouldn't say that, so I said, I have no idea. He said, the problem with this country is that we are mixing races. I said, you're British. You are a fat, pink people with poor dental health. How could some fresh genes possibly make things worse? Mixing races is a solution. Mix as much as you possibly can. All of us should mix, you know, if for nothing else, we should mix for the permanent sunblock, you know. If the environmentalists are right, I guess they are. Yeah, God's an asshole, isn't he? I guess he's a bit schizophrenic, God. He's in every armed conflict in the world, and he's on both sides. I guess he's figuring that he's winning either way, so. I have a question. If God didn't like gay people, why did he put the prostate where it can be touched? I'm just curious. There's not much logic to God. The only logical thing about God is the connection between small hat and pig. You aware of this? In God 1.0, you've got to wear that little hat and you can't eat pigs, right? That's the core of God 1.0, right? In God 2.0, you can eat pigs, but you can't wear the hat. Then in 3.0, he's back again to the small hat, no eating of pigs. You see the connection? I want to eat a pig. Well, then you can't wear the hat. That's the rule. What about the Pope? He can eat pigs, he has a hat. Well, then you have to fuck small boys, you know, that's because apparently homosexuality isn't wrong if you fuck children. At least according to God. You're going to hell. I find that threat amazingly funny. Going to hell? I've just stated I don't believe in God. And you say I'm going to hell? That's kind of like going up to somebody, don't steal that car, you might get run over by a unicorn. Scary. That is scary. According to the Believers of God 3.0, God wrote the Quran first. That's the first book. That's one of those things that would make me not believe in God. If he had that book all the time, and still he had to make us go through all this bullshit with Jesus and Moses, that idiot. What's wrong with this story? He's supposed to walk from northern Egypt to Jericho. It's like 300 miles. Takes him 40 years. Really, Moses? Is this serious? Takes you 40 years to walk 300 miles. Don't you think that somebody during this 40-year-long walk would have tapped him on the shoulder and asked him, Moses, are you sure you know where we're going to? Because I've had fucking grandchildren since we left. I'm getting tired. But he was talking to God all along, you know, well, why do you send me to do this? You know I have no sense of direction. You made me, after all. I'm lost. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, burning bushes, that's fine. Couldn't you burn in bushes the entire way? I have no idea where I am. A GPS, will that be asking too much? GPS, please? I realize that'd be unrealistic, of course, if Moses had a GPS. If God sent down a GPS to the guy that can part oceans and make water spring from a stone, that'd be like a fairy tale. So I realized that couldn't happen. Well, life sucks, doesn't it? You know, generally, you attend an education that you hate to get a job that you're gonna hate even more than your education. The only reason you keep your job is so you can buy a house that you're gonna end up hating more than your job and your education combined, because the only time you spend in that house is together with somebody that you really hate, because you never speak to each other and you haven't fucked for years. Still, you're in there. I know what I'm talking about, because I was married for 5 years. That was hell. We got a divorce after I was in the shower one day, and I thought to myself, well, hey, I don't want to get a divorce, you shouldn't do that. I kind of don't want to get a divorce, but if she died... If she died, I'd probably fuck somebody ugly at her funeral just for fun, if she would only die. So naturally we had to get a divorce, not because I thought that, but because she heard me say that joke. Well, my time is up. Thanks for listening. Take care, everybody.